Hey Cancer, this is your December 2017 monthly reading. Before I get started on your reading, there's just a couple things I want to cover real quick. For December, as of right now it's December only, but I might extend it a little bit longer just because these readings are taking a little bit longer to for me to put them out than I thought they would. But for December, if you purchase it in the month of December as of right now, the price of my readings are about half what they normally are, just as kind of like a holiday deal for if you want to know, what the new year is bringing in, or just curious what's going on because, there's a lot of things being wrapped up at the end of this year. If you have a lot going on, they're perfect as gifts, whatever the occasion may be. But for a 30-minute reading, it would be $25. And for a 60-minute reading, it would be $45. Also, another thing I'm doing on my twin flame video, which stay tuned because I'm going to put another one out very soon. I want to do an update on that. But on my twin flame video, I got a good amount of comments and I really enjoyed reading them and kind of hearing about people's journeys and what they're going through. Or just any comments or constructive criticism or anything like that. I haven't really, mostly it's about people's journey so far. But if you comment within the month of December, it only counts once. But if you comment within the month of December on any of these 12 videos, the monthly videos that are going out right now, so of the 12 zodiac signs, the monthlies, like it'll say monthly in the title, you'll go in a drawing that I will pull randomly, and one person will get a free 60-minute reading of whatever type of reading you want. That, obviously I do, but I do quite a few different types of readings. So you'll get a free 60-minute reading. So please comment something more significant than just hi, but it doesn't have to be real lengthy. But I would really appreciate that. It would really kind of be like a Christmas gift even to me, even if not for the drawing. But I really enjoy reading them and getting to know you guys, or how or if the reading helped you, if it resonated. I don't really need to hear if it didn't resonate because we know these are general readings. So some, all, or none of it may apply. Check out your sun, moon, and rising videos, especially if this one doesn't seem to resonate. Maybe one of those other two will. Excuse me. I also look at Venus, where my Venus is, and any other significant, if I have significant planets within my natal chart, which if you've never looked at your natal chart, you don't know where to look for that. I did put a good, I think I have like one or two sites in the description below where you can find that at. Trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting before I go on. I'm also planning on doing like weeklies or bi-weeklies, not only of generals, but of like love readings, and I'll either alternate them or do them like back to back, like one week do a general, 1 week do a love, then a general, then a love, or just back to back or within each other. But keep an eye out, like, share, subscribe, maybe even click the bell. I have a lot of ideas that I plan on doing, and kind of channelings and talks and subjects that I'm also passionate about, such as narcissism, codependency, anxiety, depression, spiritual awakenings, any of that good stuff. I think there's a couple others, and what's helped me, maybe even questions I have. But keep an eye out for that, because I have a lot of ideas for readings coming out too. So like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so it notifies you when stuff comes out. In case there's any cross watchers, or even for you guys, I started out with Sagittarius because it is their month. And then I'm going in line for Aries, and then so on down the zodiac in line. It may change in the future depending on how many views, like who has the most views or who has the most comments. But as of right now, that's how it's going. Yeah. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget about the holiday prices, and about the drawing, about the comments. So Cancers. I feel like a lot of this really kind of resonates, or maybe be going off of the Scorpio new moon videos that I did. I remember in that for the water signs that I remember that for the water sign videos, Scorpio and Cancers, if I remember correctly, were really like they were just done with love. They were not dealing with love at the moment. They weren't focusing on love. They were just like, no. And it seems you guys are still that way, which, you know, obviously is okay. You know, everyone goes through their cycles. But for such a loving and nurturing sign, it's sad. It's funny too, because like as I started meditating on the energy, even throughout today, because I was thinking about your guys' video and maybe how I was going to do it or what cards I was going to use. And I actually got a lot of things today. For one, I just felt really, like, grumpy. And I don't think you guys are all grumpy. I think you're doing things to, make yourselves feel better. But I think underneath it all, I think you guys are kind of grumpy, which makes sense because anybody who's not focusing on like love or love at all, and that doesn't just mean like a relationship, that also means like anything that you're really passionate about. And I think you're almost seeming to go in this routine, which you'll see, to take your mind off things and create, you know, some other type of focus to regroup, which does end up serving you, for the most part. So it is good. But I think especially for your sign, but anybody who's not really focusing on like love or something they really love, or maybe not as developed in that yet, is going to have, you know, they're gonna be kind of grumpy. But I think you guys just might be like down and out too, or just over it, you know. I know the song like "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" by Elton John. I don't think you guys want to feel the love. I also get a sense of narcissism and codependency within this. So I just want to say this in the beginning of my reading, maybe the beginning of the video. As of right now, my videos do tend to last a little bit longer. The way I read is off of energies and the way I feel, and things that can help you. I'm very much about a self-work, self-realization, opening your eyes type of reader in person. If I see things, I will say it as far as like, you know, things that are going on or whatever, but I'm not really a type of reader that's like, you know, you're suspicious or you're trying to figure things out and, you know, your partner is sleeping with your neighbor. And I'm not saying that's bad to focus on that, but just know up front that I am a type of self-help and taking responsibility type of reader. That's what I do, is I like to enlighten people to patterns and taking responsibility of your life and knowing that you have the power and control of your life. So just know that. And that I come from a place of love and non-judgment, and that I've been down, you know, pretty much this same type of road or arena, which actually caused an awakening in my mind that I'm still in the middle of. So just FYI. But there's definitely some narcissism going on in this, and codependency. And I did have another realization today that I think I'll wait until I get a little bit more in the reading to talk about. I didn't realize it until I started putting your cards down and putting it together, that not only was it for myself, very, very much for myself, and applying to my life and my situations, but I realize now it was also for this video. So I feel like you guys are in the middle of, or just ended, some type of big ending. Whether, I mean, it could be a job. I think that there's a lot of endings or problems, but mostly endings of like relationships, marriages. I mean, it could be family, you know, it could be friends. I get a lot of love, and obviously love could extend to anything, any situation, anything that it means something to you. So apply this, you know, to how it works for you. If I keep speaking of love or a partner or somebody you're with and it's your job, just take the same ideas and lessons and apply it to that if it resonates to that. I feel very much like love. I think you're highly conflicted. I think a lot of these problems that are going on, and I'm not sure whether you realize it or not, are about not knowing what you want. It may not seem that way to you at first. It may seem like that. You know, some may be more enlightened than others. This could also be somebody you're dealing with. That is possible. I will say to keep in mind that things and situations mirror us in life. So if you're dealing with somebody who is very narcissistic, very manipulative, negative, just doesn't really want to communicate, is not communicating, is holding things back, is lying, is cheating, doesn't know what they want, know that in some way that reflects something you're doing, either to them, to others, and or to yourself. Such as, if they're lying to you, ask yourself, how am I lying to myself? If they're cheating, ask yourself, how am I cheating myself? If they're wearing a mask, ask yourself in your life how you're wearing a mask. How are you not being your authentic self? One of the ways, especially if you've been in or were in this situation for a long time, that it seems like you're coming out of, you had to have been wearing a mask. Anytime you're not like living, speaking, and acting in your authentic self, you are wearing some type of mask. It seems like you guys are very focused on money right now. I didn't do a Celtic cross for you guys like I have all the other signs so far, because it just seemed like your cards really wanted to do something else. I get from your past, I'm taking it as your past. You have the Six of Wands. You have the Judgment reversed. You have Three of Swords reversed. You have the Queen of Swords reversed. You have the Seven of Wands. And you have the Knight of Wands. Either you or someone you have been dealing with, or a situation you've been dealing with, or people within a situation you've been dealing with, I feel like there's been a lot of dealing with somebody who is very egotistical, has a lot of pride, is self-centered, focused on themselves, selfish, does things for attention and praise of others, probably highly sexually driven, flighty energy, in and out, not consistent, loves adventure but too much into adventure, partying, self-sabotaging behavior. I believe that there was manipulation going on, emotional and mental, possibly physical. A lot of you or the other person having to defend yourself. You might have had a lot of competition. They might have had a lot of competition. A lot of people around just constantly arguing, fighting, defending yourself. Kind of like one of those types of conversations where it's like you're having a conversation to make something better or solve something. Like the conversation is a house on fire and you're on one side putting water on it, or they're on one side putting water on it, and you or the other person is on the other side pouring gasoline. It could be they knew what they were doing and they were sabotaging it, or it could literally be just perceptions being off and both think that they're really trying to help this when just different perceptions, the way of coming at it. I would very much look into, like, I'll be having videos on it too soon because I really want to get into it. It's one of the things that caused my awakening, but at the very least, watching videos on narcissism and codependency and see the pattern of that and see the pattern in it, probably all your life in the relationships around you and what you even grew up around starting from childhood. But I think that some type of judgment didn't go in your favor, or you had to make a judgment that ended something that probably was sad. It was probably sad for you and the other person or situation, but you really need to heal from all this going on, but it's just so blocked, like so much to the point that you don't even want to focus. Like this situation or person, like just you guys wore the heck out of each other to where you don't even want to focus on love anymore. I feel a lot of karma in this situation. I feel like a lot of not only karma was released or past karmic, stuff, maybe even from past lifetimes, I don't know, but either karma was dealt to somebody else or karma was dealt to you. I get the feeling that there's, and it's not going to be for everybody, but a large number of cancers. I think that maybe you were the one that got the karma dealt to you. It can very easily be the other way. So I could be wrong. Just apply it as needed. I say that without judgment, too, by the way. Everybody has their reasons for things. And maybe some of these things you knew that were wrong, or you could be doing better, or you were just trying your best to, like, tame the beast inside. But some things I think you don't even know. There's a lot going on also on a subconscious level. What's going over all of this reading is you have the star reversed, and you have the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. So you're really just done. Like, you're mentally done. You're energetically done. You're just over it. Good news, You are at the end of a cycle. I'm not sure yet if you learned your lesson. You might have learned some, but you have some more coming. And through you kind of being like, screw this, and part of your perception has changed, or part of your focus has changed. Because of that, you do have more realizations coming. So that's a good thing. The situation almost, in a way, was meant to push you to that. It was weird though when I was looking at it, because I was like, well, you have the 10 of Swords. You have the 10 of Wands. You have 2 of the 10s. So I was looking to see if you had any of the other 2 10s. Which would be the 10 of Pentacles. Let me go this way. Would be the 10 of Cups. As far as all your cards laid down, you have one cup card. One. And that is the 4 of Cups. And that isn't even like your future where this is laid. This is more down the center that kind of explains what happened. It's like the middle between like the past and where you are now. In the past were the other cards I showed you. Eventually I do plan to have a setup, by the way, to where I can show you your layout as well. But the way my desk is set up, like, it's not really possible. And with, you know, the device and all that. But eventually I do want to do it where I can at least pull it down and show you. But right now I'll just hold the cards up to you and describe it. So you have cards laid amongst the top, the ones in the middle that show the present, the ones at the top are the ones covering like the ideas. Of the left is the past, which I showed you. I showed you it's covering too. And then on the right is kind of where you're sitting right now. And then there's ones below that that kind of go a little bit more into things about this, the center, present, and where you are now. So you don't have the 10 of Cups. And I think that's because, for one, I do think you probably lack some self-love, like true self-love. I'm not talking about arrogance or ego or surface level stuff. I'm talking about true, like, soul-satisfying self-love type stuff. But either way, you do not want to focus on love right now. Like, no. So you don't want the 10 of Cups. Like, they're not only do you not have it, but you don't have it because you're like, I don't want it. And it's not what I've been focusing on anyways. You don't have the 10 of Pentacles. However, in your present position, like where all this led you, you have the 9 of Pentacles. So you're almost at the 10. It's like, well, this person they've become independent. They do have enough money. So even if this was like a divorce, and if you have any fears of money, you will have enough money to get you by. Becoming independent. This is also about self-love. So maybe you do have self-love. Hopefully it's not like an egotistical one, or maybe you think you have self-love. But I can't imagine somebody being in this situation and really having like a true idea or representation of self-love, whether you are on whatever end of it. I don't see how. I think I'm more safe this is like independent, and like you will have enough money, but you do want more. Like you are very much focused on your finances and in putting your focus into work, and you're gaining some rewards back from it. You're like, I don't want to focus on anything else anymore. I'm going to focus on something. Like, this is the only area in my life right now that is not causing me havoc. I'm just going to put money into that, which is kind of good, because it's like, yes, sometimes you need to focus on things that are bad or trigger you because they're meant there to show you something. But sometimes you do just need a break to let your mind relax, and also to do something repetitively in order to allow your intuition to bring you things. Because if you're too freaked out or too focused, sometimes it's hard to get things. So I do think many Cancers have recently become single. They do have enough and they're getting by, but they're wanting to create more. They're focusing on their finances. Next to that, you have the Page of Pentacles. You have a message, but here you are, or something coming to you that is bringing you your 10th Pentacle. So you have the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands, and soon you will have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a positive card compared to the rest. The other two are positive too, because it's like that's the end of the cycle, so it's not still going on. So there is a positive aspect there. But you are on your way to getting the 10 of Pentacles, because here you are now, the 9 of Pentacles, and there's an offer or something come to you, or the start of an adventure, or an endeavor, should I say. Maybe even you picking up some type of skill or something at work. You're just starting something so that you can combine, you know, these together and have like the 10 of Pentacles. And, you know, you also have the King of Pentacles. So it's like you're just focusing on you and your money right now. Like, you don't want to focus on anything else. Like, you want to be on top of your game money-wise, and just, as of right now, you see this as something that is not going to hurt you. It's not going to cause you problems. Take this from a Taurus, by the way, though. I'm a Taurus sun, a Gemini moon, and a Leo rising. I do have my Pisces, and my Venus is in Pisces, but this does not mean you're not going to get hurt or bring you to the same level, because this is one of the things that brought me down and brought me as one of my triggers to my awakening. Just an FYI on that. So don't burn yourself out, and, you know, keep your boundaries in place and everything, but just don't think that, like, love is the only thing that brings you there. That is not a correct thought process. Yes, love is one of mine, as far as like some type of love relationship, friendship, whatever, which just allowed me to look at everything in my life and all the relationships. But this is a Taurus card, and Capricorn, Virgo too, very hardworking signs, earth sign. But this can bring you down as well. Just know that anything that's important to you and of value to you can bring you not good things, which is what you're kind of trying to avoid and run from right now. My point in saying that is not to have a fear-based mentality about it. It's to know that what solves that is your perception and what you do and what you allow and don't do, and your boundaries, and not having kind of a victim mentality, working on yourself, working on raising your energy and your frequency, and your vibration, which brings that into you, and not having like attachments and not having like a codependent kind of mentality. Because from what I see here, I do think it was a codependent mentality and relationship that kind of brought you down. But either way, I don't mean brought you down, but just brought you to where you're like, I'm just done. And the only reason was because it was very important to you. I mean, especially for a Cancer, which is one of the more loving and nurturing signs. I mean, anytime you're not in that, I can't imagine a Cancer feeling in their element. But it might be good focusing on your money too. I mean, one of the things about being balanced is focusing on pulling attributes that are very strong with other zodiac signs. It's about having a balance of works for all of them. But that's a conversation for another day, I guess. But you can tell you're very much focused on money. You have the 9 of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles, which is all of what you either are now or what you're aiming to be. Maybe you feel like this divorce really knocked you on your butt and you're like, I got to get some more money, I got to feel more stable, I want to feel better about myself, whatever. But even as other cards that just popped out, I mean, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Again, here's your ace you've been looking for. It's coming. And it's because it's A, where you're putting your energy, and B, it's because a cycle was ended. And I don't know if this will make you feel better. It depends, you know, where you are emotionally as far as your healing process. But I feel like what happened was supposed to happen for your spiritual evolution. So don't get too hard on yourself or too hard on the other person. This situation is pushing you to become the better you. Okay? So don't get too hard on yourself or be like, you know, not open yourself back up to in the future. Not all situations are like this. The work on yourself and your perception and just your self-love, it opens the doors to all your realization. And when you see the world in a different way, all of a sudden everything makes sense. But here's your pentacle. So it's coming. So yay, upside. I think you're also trying to keep an ear out, like maybe for some type of, you know, because here's two other cards that just while I was shuffling, like they wanted to pop out. You have ear and coin. So if you add these together, you have 59, which is 14, and 14 is 1 plus 5 is 5. So you may be having some conflict with money, which is why you're going so focused on money. You know, maybe this situation or change in your life really did leave you like, you do have enough, but to where you're like, I don't really feel safe at all. I don't feel as safe as I did, you know, possibly like say if it was a divorce when it was me and them. But I think you're trying to keep an ear out maybe for opportunities, a job, a promotion, ways to make more money. You're just trying to become more aware and keep your ear out for opportunities having to deal with money or new jobs or, you know, creative things, or you're just trying to bring in more money into your life. For as what led you to where you are now or your future of the money, I think you also want stability as well with that. And you feel like stability, I think you're really trying to drop into that earth kind of vibe. You have the High Priestess reversed. This is what led, this is kind of, it's not what led here, because what led here were the other cards, the Six of Wands, Judgment reversed, Three of Swords reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, Seven of Wands upright, and the Knight of Wands upright. Those are kind of like what would be the foundation or the recent, like the foundation of a Celtic cross, the one that's like led to all of this. What would be your recent past and or your present, it could be either or, that is leading you to focusing on your money, is the High Priestess reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Six of Cups, and the Hanged Man. So some people might have been in third-party situations. Maybe this was a mistress. There might have been secrets. Maybe the truth came out. It doesn't have to be with a mistress, but I feel like some secrets came out either about you or you found out about them. Maybe it was about another woman or another partner, male, whatever. But I do feel like secrets came out. I also feel like you, and I would imagine the other person or situation too, I mean, it just makes complete sense. We're not following your intuition. Just more in that kind of egoic state. Maybe even victimhood. And not everybody realizes that. Some people are like, no. I mean, if you're unhappy or you've been in a situation for a while or you've been being manipulated for a while or just you're always in patterns of like bad relationships or whatever, you don't have any idea why, you have a victim mentality. People can only do to you what you allow. And you're the only one who can give things meaning. So, I don't know. I'm going to start to do a lot of videos on this. I don't want to like do a whole lot of rants or whatever, but you're not going within and looking into your intuition like this with the Six of Wands. Like this guy, he's looking for self-esteem and validation from his outside world. I'm partying a lot too, but looking from other people, drugs, alcohol, sex, partying, friends, internet, shopping, whatever, outside, not inside. Not going within like this upright would be. And balanced with the light and dark. Balanced on your intuition. Your subconscious and your conscious. And the Four Cups. You don't know what you want, do you? Or they don't know what they want. But let me tell you something. If you're with somebody, say you're in a relationship, and they don't know what they want, and you're in like a relationship for a while, and it's just back and forth with all this manipulation, fighting, guarding yourselves, sexual energy in and out, third-party situations, whatever. And they don't know what they want. You know, for years you're trying at it to make it better. Newsflash. You don't know what you want either. It's not just the other person. Because if you knew what you wanted, that's what you would go after. Like this. Look at this energy. What have you decided recently? I need money. I want a firm foundation. I want things that aren't going to hurt me. I need money to get by because of what has happened. I need stability. I need grounding. This doesn't seem like somebody doesn't know what they want. This seems like you know exactly what you want. And what are your actions showing? What you want. My point of saying that is, think about all the things in your life that you knew you wanted. You made them happen, right? However you had to do it. Manipulation. Maybe even self-righteous ways. Maybe even like, maybe you were the one who thought they were doing it to you. But you made it happen. Think about other things that you've been wanting to do for a while. That you're like, I want to do this. But it's like always on your New Year's resolution list. Like every year it comes around, it's always on it. It never gets done. Why? Because I'm not going to say it's not what you want, because it is what you want. But part of you doesn't want it for some reason. And your frequency probably isn't matched with it as well. You can look at Abraham Hicks with that. She does some great talks on that on YouTube or something. But sometimes it's, you know, with procrastination, it's because your frequency isn't matched to it. And I can fully attest to that, because it is one of the things I've worked on as I've been working on myself. Like always wanting to lose weight. And I've been working on my frequency and raising my vibrational level. And amazingly enough, it's one of the things that's really actually helped me to where, like, I exercise almost every day now. And I actually like it. But think of the things that you've really wanted. And the things that you succeeded. Like, even if it's having to. Like, say it's like, oh, I had to get a job, but I really want it. You didn't really want it. Well, no, but you really wanted it because you had to have it. Because if not, some people are in a frequency enough where they can go get something just because they want it. And then some people are in a frequency that they will only go and do the things that they feel they have to do, that they're pushed and pressured to do. That chaos has gone enough to where like, oh crap, I have to go get this done. Which means you need to raise your frequency and work on self-love and figure out what you really want. But you don't really know what you want. If you're the one doing the manipulating in the situation, which even that, you know, even if somebody else is doing the manipulating, if you're there and you don't want to be, or you're keeping your mouth shut just to keep things civil for how long you did, you're manipulating. Because you're not speaking your truth. Why? Because you're not sure yet whether you're ready for them to leave, because you feel like if you speak your truth or open your mouth, they're going to leave. That's manipulation. Yes, it may be less hurtful in some ways than maybe what somebody else might be doing. But if all these years you're like, I can't handle this, or I don't want a relationship like this, or you're always trying to make it work, but you're too scared to leave, or you're just have a fighter mentality, and you're like, you know it's not good for you and you shouldn't be there, but you're staying. You don't know what you want. Because if you really wanted and you felt like you deserved that relationship that's in your head, that you want, but some part of you thinks that it's not a reality and that you'll never achieve it for some reason, whether it's never been a reality of yours, you've never seen it, you didn't see it with your parents, or you've just never had it, or you don't think you're good enough, or what if I lose this and nothing better comes? It's a fear-based mentality. If that's what you really wanted and you thought it was possible, you would go after it. You wouldn't be sitting here like this, like I don't know what I want. If somebody's with you, or you're the person who you're like, I love the person I'm with, but you know, man, there's a lot of attractive people. I can't really tame this beast. You don't know what you want. You want your cake and to eat it too. You want them to be there, and you don't want them to be with someone else because you want to have access to them when you want it. But you want to be able to go do your thing too. You don't know what you want. I can't imagine any one person having this energy in a relationship and the other not having the same energy in some fashion. It mirrors. I don't care who's being worse, doing what, they lied, they cheated, whatever. If you're there, but yet every day you're like, this isn't what I want. I deserve better than this. We need to work on this. Blah, 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 blah. 5 years later, we need to have another talk. Sit down. This isn't what I want or deserve. You don't know what you want. Or you don't really think it'll happen. Or you don't know what you'll do without that drama. But you need to figure it out, because I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you something. There is nothing more sobering than finally being in a relationship where somebody is good to you or what you wanted. Talk about a reality check. Watch the energies change. Talk about a mirror. There is no greater gift than the gift of a balanced mirror. Because when somebody comes and they're good to you, it shows you a lot of stuff about yourself. A lot of the things that you've been addicted to, and a lot of the things you've been doing and creating, and when it's not there, it's almost like you don't know what to do with yourself. And if you're not willing at that time to face that mirror and do the self-work, you will sabotage any good relationship that comes your way, and you will destroy it. My greatest advice to you that I can say, besides, yes, keep working on your finances, give yourself some rest time in these areas that you're trying to take some time away from, but figure out what you want. And if you can't figure out what you want, if you don't know at this moment, own that. own that you don't know what you want. And that's okay. And you just keep doing what you're, doing. Just don't misrepresent that to people or yourself. Let people know, this is what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I want in my life. I'm focusing on money. Sure, you can stand next to me. We can hang out. We can do whatever. But I want you to know I don't know what I want right now. The only thing I know I want right now is I'm trying to get balanced by going through my finances. I'm trying to get my finances right. Beyond that, I don't know. And I want you to know that. And anybody who seems like they have expectations more than that or says okay but keeps going or whatever, I mean, you either boot them out or just be like, I'm letting you know. But have your boundaries up and see people. I mean, let people see them, your boundaries, and I mean, boundaries, self-love, and being real with yourself about knowing what you want, or being real that you don't know what you want, is probably your biggest things. Either way, because of not using your intuition, because of the secrets coming out, not knowing what you want, the universe kind of took care of things for you, was teaching you a lesson, and lessons were dealt, karma was dealt. I took care of it for you. Something was removed from your life. Whether you removed it or the universe removed it. But it was removed from your life. And right now, you're kind of feeling like forced in this situation. To some degree, you feel like you put yourself there. But because of what happened, you're forced kind of in this position to try to gain a new perspective. I kind of look at it too, like his body is kind of shaped like a 4. And 4 is about like balance and stability. I feel like you're trying to gain like a new perspective on how can I live my life, or where can I go from here to gain myself a level of balance and stability that will not get me to where I am right now. I understand there's ups and downs, but this is pretty extreme. You had to have a part in it as well. If this is a pattern for you, realize that if this is a pattern and you keep having relationships like this, are you the common denominator? That means something. Either what you're allowing or what you're contributing. So right now, you're trying to just gain your stability. Trying to put a good structure back to your foundation. Again, you have the King of Pentacles. And you really have all the signs here. I would say about people, but I don't think you're really focused on people right now. I think you're trying to gain your stability financially and focusing on you. I think you kind of realize some negative things and you're trying to cut them out of your life. You might feel defeated, or you might kind of just be kind of in that mode where you're just unhappy and you're grumpy and you're not doing very well at communicating right now. So you're just maybe being a little narcissistic, maybe you're grumpy, maybe you're having a little conflict with people, or just being a little immature with your speaking because you're just unhappy about what's going on. But it could be you cutting people out of your life because you're kind of taking a look at what might have got you to where you are now, and you're trying to remove toxic things, or just be careful with projections. But you realize that, if you cut someone away who wasn't supposed to be cut away, and then you realize you had the wrong perception about it, just trust me, when your world opens up and your eyes open up and you see your part on things, it's not anywhere near as clear cut as you thought it always was. Just so you know. And you're kind of just being like this right now. Like this, I feel like these two energies are yours, with the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. I think you're just focusing on you. You're focusing on your money. You're focusing on building your, your kingdom. But you're also sitting here like ready to fight if you need to. Try not to. You're trying to avoid it, but your truth is up. You're like, you say what needs to be said. You don't say what doesn't need to be said. You're not really talking a whole lot. You're probably not interacting a whole lot. You're ready to do some cutting if you need to. You're just focusing on your stuff. You speak only when you need to. I mean, at least you're upright, but I think you're just kind of very stern, focusing on yourself. You're not focusing on other people. You're not really talking to many other people. You're really just searching for the rest of your truth, and you're really delivering some truth when they need to be had. And like I said, I think you are cutting, I think you're cutting people in situations out of your life that might have had anything to do with what led to this and where you are now. So I wanted to know, what, I wanted to know a little bit more about your love side of it. And 3 of the cards I got, which I do have a little bit more to go into, but you have the Judgment card. Again, this one's upright. But this is kind of like a past thing. This is like what led there, what was it about? And I think this little guy is supposed to be Cupid. There is nudity in these pictures, but these two are bound by some type of wrapping. I think you felt like stuck. Or bound to a situation. Like not happily there, but like just tied up, almost like imprisoned. I do think there was third party situations, but here's the 2 of Swords. Like you couldn't decide. You couldn't decide whether it was something that you felt stuck in or something that you wanted. Maybe one of the parties was playing games with you, but someone's like trying to woo you, and they're like, no, or you're trying to woo them, and they're like, no. You or somebody else couldn't decide what they wanted. Like I said, I already did that spiel. Like, I think you both didn't know what you wanted on some level. And then you have the 6 of Pentacles. Like, again, there was a very uneven give and take. Like, he's given a lot. She's like, pfft. He's looking at her. She's doing her own thing. Like, eating an apple of temptation. He's looking, this other guy's looking through the window at her. So I feel like there was probably cheating and a problem with like temptation and third party situation in this very much uneven give and take, unbalanced situation. Unbalanced emotions, fear-based mentalities. And you go to the bottom of this deck, you have the Sun. So it's like on one hand, it's something that you really love and it makes you feel good and warm. But on the other hand, you have the 9 of Swords and it makes you feel anxious. You want a really loving relationship, but at the same time, you want that raunchy sexual stuff at the same time. And you're trying to tame your inner beast. Or they are, with the Strength card, apply as needed. So here's the Strength card. Taming your inner beast, your lusts. And again, here's the 8 of Swords, feeling trapped. Yeah, there's the Devil in the background. Somebody's really trying to calm their desires. And he's over there with her, focused on her. And she's looking over at the Devil. So someone's like with you and they love you, or you're with someone else and you love them, but you just want everything else too. You don't know what you want. Third party situation, 3 of Cups. Nine of Chalices. Chalices, just focusing on yourself. Being a little overindulgent. I mean, I know it's a wish card, but it's like, how many wishes do you have? How many wishes do you want? You know, you have the Queen of Swords. She's focusing on someone else. It's funny, too, because what she's focusing on is a man in a picture. And it seems like somebody who died, like, at war or something. Either way, it's a picture. So she's focused on something she can't have. So I feel like either you or someone else was always wanting what they can't have. They always are going after the unobtainable. If they could attain it, if they can have it, they don't want it anymore. This is very much narcissism and codependency. The Empress, always looking for that bigger, better thing, that next better thing, that shinier penny. Queen of Pentacles, like, not only is she above and some people serving her manipulation, but self-pleasuring, doing things that pleasures only them, maybe even things that hurt them when she's pinching her nipple. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it hurts. The Fool card. Trying again, starting new, but it's still toxic. Still third-party situations going on in the background. Seven of Wands. Still fighting, still being guarded, still having competition. You know, the truth comes out about it, even though you're healing about it. There's still kinky crap going on. Four of Swords. Trying to heal from all that stuff that happened and went on. But this is where it led the two of you. This is the Seven of Swords. All this deceit led you two to be like this. Then you have the Two of Pentacles. There's unbalanced. Four of Wands. The stability was not balanced. Mistresses, not using your intuition. High Priestess, Six of Cups. People from the past. Someone's focusing on the past. Again, they're focusing on a picture, though. They're either focusing on the past or something they want from the past, or they're focusing on things they can't have. Like, they always want what they can't have, but yet they're trying to, like, control the situation. He's, like, getting her drunk. Trying to control someone to be there, controlling what they think, controlling their mind, keeping them in an illusion while they're doing things behind their back. I mean, I can keep going with it. It just keeps going back and forth like this between good and raunchy and of the Tower. Crumbling of a foundation, an unsturdy foundation. Justice, things being balanced, karma delivered. Divorce, end of a cycle, end of a relationship. Someone walk away, trying to find something better. Trying to get themselves more emotionally balanced. Maybe they want to use their intuition again. Maybe someone walked away and they were a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Maybe you walked away so you can put your crown back on. Made a head over heart decision. Somebody made a head over heart decision. Maybe it's a Gemini. And ended the cycle. They ended a marriage. Lessons learned. A judgment was made. Maybe they left and reunited with a Taurus. Maybe you wanted to leave and reunite with a Taurus. But I think you're just trying to put the work in, something creative, something that makes you feel like kind of fiery and passionate again, focusing on yourself, and hopefully that makes things go better for you. I think it does, you know, it hopefully will put you back on your path. You'll get inspiration, be on top of your game. Maybe then you'll have enough confidence to go to this someone or something from your past. Something that you've always known inside of you that you wanted, and you've held very dear and close to your heart. Maybe, just maybe, you share this truth with this person. Maybe have a conversation. Come eye to eye. Maybe it's the same person that caused this. I think it's somebody from your past, though. Does a conversation come about? Do you want to have a conversation with someone from your past and see eye to eye with them? Maybe not even focus on love. Maybe start as friendship. But at the very least, maybe all this karma that was delivered and all this going on is going to cause you to really see things from a different light with someone from your past. Maybe even in this situation you'll see. But because of seeing it with this, it's going to cause you to shine light and have a truth about this from the past. And maybe you want to let them know. And you focus on yourself and see you as creative as the King of Wands. Maybe you feel this person is your other half with the Queen of Wands. I don't know. It's interesting, though. But I think you do want to make this offer. You may want to decide to make this offer to somebody from your past once you become more emotionally stable. Once you become done with the backstabbing, done with the defensive attitude, done with the not knowing, done with the comparing options to other options, and done with the third party. When you're done, you may decide to reunite. But as of right now, mentally, this is where you are. You're stuck like Chuck. Before I go on with your cards of guidance and all that, one of the things I was talking about earlier, I had like this realization. And somebody was saying something about how they realized like they had to take responsibility, you know, for their past and how their relationships were, and, you know, that they had a part to, and, you know, they had a responsibility in knowing that, you know, their relationship was not good. I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but something about the environment being bad and knowing their part and all that. Anyways, it led me to this thought that was thinking, it made sense to me about things in my past, about, you know, being with people that just really kind of do these actions where it seems like they just kind of try to either don't care enough or try to like destroy what's going on, you know, almost to this part where you're like, how can you say you want this or be here, and it's so clearly destroying the relationship. It's literally like sabotaging it. They're sabotaging themselves and the relationship. And that's when it occurred to me like this, you know, not knowing what they want. When people don't know what they want, really, and yes, sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's subconscious, sometimes it's both, sometimes they're stuck in patterns and they haven't seen their patterns yet. People do that when they don't really know what they want. When they're not balanced, they don't really know in their core what they want. And normally when people really don't know at that level what they want, to where they're just always picking the next shiny thing and bouncing all over the place, is usually when they lack that self-love and the boundaries, that true soul core self-love. But it made me realize that, you know, because a lot of people have false realities. It upholds, you know, what they want and what works for them. So if somebody doesn't know what they want and they are, you know, cheating or talking to other people, or they have a defensive attitude, or they're lying, it kind of occurred to me like it made sense that they would keep their type of environment in a way to where if it fell apart, it's like, well, it wasn't good anyways. Or, I mean, yes, there is manipulation too to keep the other person kind of confused and, you know, stuck in it, the push and pull. But it's like, you know, creating drama so that the other person kind of freaks out or seems like, well, they're dramatic. Well, they're immature. Well, they just always want to fight. And yeah, they're probably always fighting too because they're sensing what's going on and they're not being real with themselves and they also don't know what they want. But my point is that consciously and subconsciously, I think it's both, but I think people do that when they don't know what they want. They keep their environment in a way that's kind of all over and kind of chaotic so that not only it has the push-pull aspect, but it also makes it okay to justify in their mind why they're doing what they're doing. Because if you, in your reality, if you're in a relationship or a situation that is just great for you, I mean, it's, in your mind, it is an amazing opportunity. You wouldn't want anything else. It doesn't get any better, whatever. Either way, it's amazing. It's the best thing. Who in their right mind is going to want to chance sabotaging that or actually sabotage that? I mean, most wouldn't, unless you're like severely, you know, mentally not right. So in order for people to have to do that, they have to, in their mind and partially in their environment, because they have to somewhat create it to have it some part of their reality in order to have it their false reality, so they can somewhat see that truth. They have to somewhat create it to believe it. They have to keep it somewhat in a way to where that person, that other person, you know, will cheat on them or will lie to them, or on the other end, you know, will always be fighting with them, will always be arguing with them, will always be depressed enough to where they never want to do anything. It's now they feel alone and like their partner's not with them. And, well, of course I went and cheated. All you want to do is sit there. You don't even take care of yourself anymore. Which is true. I mean, the other person has the responsibility to take care of themselves regardless. They don't know what they want either, so they're staying in there, even though they want something better, but they stay, so now they're depressed and don't even have the energy, the want, or their self-love to take care of their self and do what's best for them anymore. You could put this however you want. I don't want to keep dragging it out. My main point in this is it was kind of a realization, and I'm saying this so maybe if you feel like this is being done to you, maybe you can realize something about that other person and yourself, because it mirrors. Or maybe if you're the one doing this, where you're always like, yeah, I left who I was with. They, you know, weren't good to me. Or say you're cheating and they just wanted to sit there and not do anything. You know, what part did you have in creating that as well? It's not your responsibility, but people who do things and don't know really what they want in a relationship will create some way or another an environment in their relationship that upholds a false reality that maybe this wasn't good for me. And even though part of them knows it's kind of what they want, they hold on to that other part and that environment that isn't that pleasant So they know that because they're doing things that are sabotaging to this relationship, whatever end you're on, when it crumbles, you don't feel as bad. Your ego doesn't feel as bad. Because, hey, well, it wasn't that great anyways. What part did you have in not only creating that environment, but creating the reality of that environment in your mind in order to uphold the idea because you don't know what you want? If you're okay with it, keep going. I don't think you are, because you seem like you're completely changing your perspective right now. But be okay if you don't know what you want, and either be honest with that person about it or don't be in a relationship because you don't know what you want. Because you will find some way to rationalize it in your head, whether you see it or not, that keeps that relationship almost in that same state you are. So that depending on you how you feel, it upholds either reality. Oh, it's good, I want it. It's not that great, I don't. That's where the mind games come in. That's where the disgust and certain things come in. That's where the why are you doing this and the lies and the fighting and causing certain things to create the fighting. So when they are always fighting, they're like, oh, well, that's why I always have to leave. That's why I always need to be comforted somewhere else. Because you're not doing it. All I get is this from you. You get what I'm saying. I'm going to move on from it. I hope you get what I'm saying. But that, if not, email me, I guess, and I'll explain it further, or comment, and maybe I'll make another video just on that. But that's quite a realization to have. I'm not sure a lot of people realize that. Again, that falls in line with narcissism and codependency. Just so you know. But some of your oracle cards for you is you have creation. So I really do think you're trying to create a new beginning for yourself, and you're trying to create things, within your career aspect, and maybe even something that you really love, but at the very least, something that brings you money. But I think through creating and through dreaming and realizing, what do I want? And that's another thing. Like, if you don't know what you want in love, don't start there. Start out with something, I want to say smaller, but I think it's actually bigger. It means it's so much more significant. But find out what you want as far as just like hobbies and what makes you happy and what you love in that way. Like you're not focusing on love. It might be good. Maybe this focusing on creation and what you want and dreaming about like your money and your goals, I think without you realizing it, it is actually going to end up bringing you like love and compassion and the releasing of that. Like you will be healing. And this is kind of like a balance card or invocation. You're going to be healing and putting energy on stuff you're trying to create. Through that, it's going to open your heart center, your heart chakra again. And you are going to have love and compassion through your creations, through where you're focusing your energy. And it will cause you to reflect. And I think your emotions are just going to come like you're not even going to try. They're just going to start flowing again. You're going to start to become nurturing again. I mean, that's what Cancer is all about, like emotions and nurturing. And what this does is it brings you back happiness. And it grounds you. It releases a lot of your past wounds and karma. It brings you back to life and brings you back to passion for life and in yourself and other people. There's a whole new you, a new rebirth. And you break out of everything that's been holding you back. You break out of these emotions. You come out like a new you. So that's why I say this whole venture that you have right now, that's focusing on your finances. Like it is going to end up being really good for you. It is going to bring you back balance. You really don't have to try to focus on what you want in love right now. Focus on what you want, you know, creation wise. Focus on your self-love right now. That will show you what you want. But through this, it is going to help heal you and release a lot of that heartache. But before you go into another relationship, I don't even think you're focusing on it right now, but make sure you know what you want. But as much as I'm like, blah, 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 you guys, I feel like you're kind of like on your path there anyways. Like maybe now you are listening to your intuition. 2 oracle cards I pulled for you. I'm going to read the meanings of these. I'll show you the picture. They're kind of cool. Like she's sitting in a room with like nothing but a chair and a couple toys, and there's this bunny looking at her. It does, like, why is she sitting in a room with like nothing there? Like it seems like somebody did leave or you left and you're kind of sitting there with like not much left, which is probably because of this, and you being like, well, damn, I need to get some stuff. I need to focus on my money and get my money right, because I don't have any furniture. I hope I can pay my lights. I hope I can pay my rent. Somebody took a lot of stuff. You lost a lot of stuff. And it's kind of just, look at her. She looks exhausted. You got her holding the mirror up. She's trying to look at herself. She doesn't want to look at herself, though. She's just like, ugh, I hope you might be in a victim mentality right now. Like, she's not even holding the mirror up. Like, she doesn't want to see it. This looks almost like a dragonfly. Kind of like a dragonfly with like a butterfly mixed together. But dragonflies can go in any direction. So don't just sit here on this couch and be like, oh my God. Like, if you need to rest, rest. But pick up this mirror, look at yourself, do the work, and transform and become like this dragonfly and make yourself where you can go in any direction. But I'm going to read these to you. So 20. Karma is the name of this one. That's funny. Remember that thing you did? That thing you've always felt a bit guilty about? It could come back around just like you always knew it would. And there's no avoiding it this time. The good news is that you have an opportunity to clear your conscience and make amends. If, on the other hand, you are the one who was wronged and you see someone else getting their karmic comeuppance, whatever's coming to them karmically, try not to gloat. It's satisfying, to be sure, but let your satisfaction spring from a sense of restored balance, not vindictiveness. You know, if you are getting your karma, like, be brave through it and just use it as a clean slate and move forward. The other card is disquiet. I don't know. For some reason in your video, I don't know how to pronounce any of these words. Disquiet, whatever. Do you have a vague feeling that something's not quite right? Some worry that doesn't seem to have a specific cause. Trust those feelings of disquiet. I don't know. It's easy to poo-poo them, especially if other people keep telling you everything is fine. Your intuition is correct. Something is wrong, and it's closer than you think. Examine your work, your home, your relationships, your health, all the areas of concern in your life. Make adjustments as needed. Kind of sit back and wait. Don't make a lot of moves. But once you find the obvious problem, the solution will be equally as obvious. Your problem is that you're sitting here in a victim mentality and you're not looking in this mirror and self-reflecting. Don't look in your mirror and be like, in a narcissistic way. I mean, yes, that's great. Love yourself. Look at yourself on a soul level way, on a conscious, subconscious way. And focus on doing the work to transform. I mean, she's even got sweet things in front of her and she doesn't even see it. Like, she's so like, I don't want to look in the mirror. I know I have cherries around me, but nothing good is coming to me in my life. And I'm not trying to like downplay what's going on. I know you guys have been through a lot. But this type of mentality that acts like you have no control and no input and no power of the situation and also didn't have any part in what happened here, you're going to see situations and people coming into your life that's going to bring the same stuff, just a different face. Or even worse, because it's going to be like, oh, they didn't get it before. Okay, let's make it a little more severe this time. Do the work. And I think you know it. I think that's what your intuition is telling you, that something's wrong with it. Like, maybe you got the idea of like, you know, you realize you're having a part in this. Maybe you realize you were the common denominator. And that doesn't mean you were wrong. It doesn't mean they were wrong. It just means you both played a part in this game. Look up narcissism and codependency. Google is a great place for it, but YouTube is even better. Watch some of those videos. Let it click. You have, in these cards, you have be your best self always. I asked for one and like a bunch came out. New experiences and possibilities. Adventure. Leap of faith. And empowerment. And I think what this is saying is, you know, I think you guys are really, at the moment at a low frequency and a low vibration, and that's okay. Like, you'll work up as you're doing it, but try to focus right now on doing things that make you feel good and make you feel happy. You know, if it's the money, focus on that right now, but maybe even like just be around people or situations that really make you feel good. If there's creative things, maybe things that you even love to do as a kid, but you haven't done them in a while because life got a hold of you, go back and spend time with that. If you have things from your childhood, by the way, and maybe boxed up or things about it, go look into that stuff. Because one of the things I found like through my journey was there was a lot of interesting things that really led me to where I am now that were things from my past. And I realized when I was younger, I knew a lot more of who I was and was in alignment more with who I was than when all this happened. Like, life gets a hold of you, and when you're not reflecting and meditating on that and focusing on staying in alignment, you really lose who you are. And, you know, I really realized how many things I loved as a kid that either I stopped doing or I didn't even know why I liked it or whatever, that it all made sense to me now. It really helped to go through a lot of my past stuff from when I was younger. Maybe even like a kid, anywhere up to like young adult, teenager. It's interesting to go through, and somehow it really helps like realign and remember who you are and what's important to you. So I hope that helps. It really, you know, helped me to do that. But I think through raising your vibration and focusing on things you love and trying to improve yourself and doing the self-work, it's going to bring you new experiences and possibilities. Maybe even do some adventure, new experiences and possibilities to show you more about yourself. But this is an adventure you're on, and trust in it and have faith. Walk that fine line like she is, but have faith while you're doing it. Because this whole process, even though it seems kind of it's going to really empower you. This is almost like coming into your own, your higher self. You're leveling up. You're leveling like from that Nine of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles, but in such a more way than just materialistically. The sun is coming out. There is a reason for all this that happened. Trust in that. Because you will see it. You will see why. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because you guys were so focused on money, I pulled some cards that I have that are kind of more focused on money and abundance. So I kind of wanted to give you some enlightening things based on, you know, what you guys are already focusing on. You have exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising, blah, blah, blah. Choose things that you love. Exercise is a great way to increase your vibration and your frequency. So that might be one of the ways. If you don't want to exercise and if you're not there yet, do other things that you love. Things that you love that raise your vibration. Because right now with what you're going through, not only to help heal you through this process, but the higher your vibration, the quicker you are to manifesting. Money, abundance, anything. So do things to raise your vibration. You have moonlighting. You could start to work on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay your bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. So if you are focusing on something else while working, like something that, you know, you want to create, you know, it will start to take off. If you're doing it now, just know it is going to start to take off for you. It will happen faster if you raise your frequency, do things you love, exercise, eat healthy foods, look up ways to increase your vibration and your frequency to raise it. It will help you manifest this pentacle faster to get you to the 10 of Pentacles, as well as positivity, faith, and optimism. Have faith through all of this. All right, so we're about done. I'm going to pull you 3 cards of spiritual advice from my shaman deck, and then I'll pull you one of like a healing crystal card, which like usually crazily resonates. And we'll go from there. All right, so we got one more. So you have the Star card. Have hope, have faith in this. You have healing coming. Like, so right now you're the Star reverse. By the way, if we have cross watchers for Cancers, this is also a message to don't take anything personally. Give them some space and give them some time. They are in the middle of a healing process right now. Okay? They really need a lot of healing, and that's what's going on. So don't push them. Don't bug them. They're needing healing right now. Okay? They're not on their A game. They're figuring things out. So just a message to cross watchers. But for Cancers, you're needing healing. And this is your healing coming. And you're on your path. He's following his path. He's following his destiny. This was supposed to happen. Like, this is karmic. This was meant to set you on your right path. Okay? You will have to face your fears. Yourself, your ego, even other people. This is the 7 of Wands. So you will have to do some fighting through this process, mostly with yourself, mostly with your ego. Like I said, when you do that self-reflection, you're going to realize some things about yourself. You're going to want to be like this. This guy's grumpy. This is the Emperor. Don't try to over-control the situation. Don't be grumpy. That's so funny, as I said about the grumpiness in the beginning. And this guy he's grumpy. Don't be like that. Okay? Align with yourself. You do have the Lover's card at the bottom of it. I mean, there might be something with that too, but I think this is you coming into balance with yourself. Like, this is your higher self aligning your feminine and your masculine. Your feminine is about receptivity and your masculine is about action. So it's about aligning you. Like, if you do this work, following your path, facing your ego, raising your frequency to not be grumpy. What? Ace of Pentacles. This is not the Ace of Pentacles. That's weird. This looks like the Ace of Pentacles. So you will get that new beginning. But what you do get, which is even better in a whole more rounded way, is that this reverse in the Wheel of Fortune turns over. And not only is now the universe and fortune on your side, I don't care what this card says, this is your Ace of Pentacles. This is your new beginning. If you follow this in what I'm saying, and you have faith and hope, and you follow your path, you use your intuition, face your ego, face those other things around you that you realize about yourself and the relationship and the environment about you, but mostly your ego. Don't be grumpy. Take some healing time. Focus on raising your vibration. Align your masculine and your feminine sides. You have a complete new beginning and your money comes right. But beyond your money coming right, the world turns in your favor. Why? Because you did the work. This whole thing is to put you on your path. And I think you figured it out. And I think that's also what you felt wasn't right. Not only your parts in it, but that all of this happened to put you right. I don't think you were along an awesome path. All right, we're going to pull one more card. So show me for Cancer for December of 2017. The healing crystal card for them. Basically, usually sum up almost this whole reading most of the time. Pink granite. Let's see what pink granite is all about. 36. The lightning bolt. Pink granite has the highest paramagnetic resonance of all stones and creates immense energy. This stone is also about integration, by the way. Like I said, Gemini card, integrating your masculine and your feminine. You are an ancient Egyptian with the arcane knowledge that role entails, but you originated in the stars. You understand cycles of birth, death, and rebirth and immortality. You have been involved in ancient power struggles. Cut yourself loose. Become more grounded. Learning experiences occur regularly. And serendipitous synchronicities put you in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. This is putting you on your path. It is aligning you to your right path. I love these cards. In every one of these that I've used it, like, they're amazing. Be assertive and make things happen. Events move with surprising speed once you focus your attention, once you figure out what you want. Because you know what you want, and when you do that, it moves forward with great things. And because you've been flip-flopping, it's because you didn't know what you wanted. What? See the whole picture before deciding. Be pragmatic. Don't give your power away. Don't give your power away. Don't play victim. Maintain balance in a relationship. You need diplomacy and tact. Lightning can strike twice. If dealing with ancient strife, look at the bigger picture. Everything must pass away. Death precedes transformation and rebirth. Lightning, the lightning bolt. It's taken away an old, faulty foundation. Whatever this happened to cause this was taken away your old, faulty foundation. It is a lightning conductor for positive change. Timing, out of the blue. I don't really think this was out of the blue though, but that doesn't really matter. Keep your head up. Your money coming right will put you back in alignment, but everything that's going to come from that is going to open you back up, and you're going to feel like the loving and nurturing Cancer that you are. I think that this second time around, though, you'll at least be better off. But by all means, please do the work on it. Please really, really do the work. Like I said, lightning can strike twice. This is a pattern. Okay? But this was meant to happen to put you on your path. Do the work. No matter how scary it gets. Trust me, Once you get into it and you see things, it's not that scary. It's kind of amazing, actually. It opens your eyes and things start to make sense. And all of a sudden, you have more control than you ever have by releasing control and allowing the lessons to happen. Don't be stuck in this grumpy humbug stage. I saw this saying that was kind of cool. You know, sometimes you pass by certain churches and they have like sayings that they have up on the thing, and it was something like, be humbly grateful, not grumpily hateful. Don't be grumpily hateful, but don't be grumpy. Make the head over heart decision to go with this process and align your masculine and feminine. Do the work to come into alignment. The universe, God, source, whatever, your angels, your higher self, and even you in this other situation has really done a lot of work to help you put you on your right path. It's up to you now what you do with this opportunity. You have the option to choose this as something negative and be like, oh my God, look what happened to me. Look what happened in my life. Why is nothing ever going right? Or you have the opportunity to look at this not as a challenge, but as an opportunity, as a blessing, as a lesson to take what works for you and move forward and change and have a rebirth process. This is karma. And this is helping you, whether you were on the negative or the positive side of it. Because let me explain something to you too. Like, say this is a relationship. Say you are on the end that you were the one cheating and doing things wrong. Yes, you got dealt the hurtful hand in your eyes and the karma went on you. But trust me that this other person is fully dealing with the karma of this situation as well. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what you see on the other end. You're both dealing with the karma of this situation at the moment. Don't let it go in vain. Do the work. And see this as a positive challenge and an opportunity. And something that is going to get you higher. And aligned with your higher self and on your right path. I'm going to end this now. I'm going to keep going. I'm in a Gemini moon so I can go and go and go and go. I have the gift of gab. I don't know. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that this is aligning you to your new opportunity. I'm stoked. I hope you guys are. I hope you guys see this for what it is. Because you got some amazing things coming if you do. I mean, I think it still is going to get better either way, just because a lot of it, the toxicity was removed. But like I said, lightning can hit twice. You can rebuild this for yourself again in a negative way. So choose to rebuild from this foundation in a better way. Because that's the whole reason this lightning came. Rewind and listen to this again. I love these cards. They're freaking amazing. Like, share, subscribe. Please comment. Don't forget about the drawing. Don't forget about the holiday deals. I love you guys. Thank you for going on this journey with me. Be strong. This is a good thing. I'm happy for you. Yay. I love your guys' energy. The water signs have great energy whenever I do your guys' reading. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Comment. Thank you. I love you guys. Bye.